Buenos dias, chicos. It's been a long time since we've had our last lesson, but if you remember, we were working on accent patterns in Spanish. So we have aguda, where the accent falls, the spoken accent falls on the last syllable, llana o grave, when it falls on the second to last, esdrújula, when it falls on the third syllable from the end, and then sobreesdrújula, what we're working on today, falls on the fourth syllable from the end. Now, the thing to know about today's words is that they only happen when you attach pronouns to the end of verbs. There aren't any words in Spanish that normally have an accent 4 syllables from the end. Okay, so remember what we're doing is we are trying to learn, like if you hear a word, how do you know if it has a written accent mark or not? Okay, or if you are looking at a word and it doesn't have a written accent mark, how do you know where the spoken accent goes? So you know how to pronounce a word that you haven't seen before. So we saw if a word ends in a vowel, N or S, and it doesn't have a written accent mark, the spoken accent goes on the second to last syllable in words like mesa, right? Lunes, martes, see, examen are all examples of that. If a word ends in any other consonant, and we said the most common ones are going to be D, L, R, and Z. They can be other ones, but those are the 4 common consonants that end words in Spanish, besides N and S. And it doesn't have a written accent mark. The spoken accent goes on the last syllable. So words like papel, usted, universidad, all of your verbs, hablar, comer, salir, etc. And then any word that doesn't fall into those 2 categories has to have a written accent mark. All right. So examples of our sobreesdrújulas, they're all verbs. They have to be verbs, and they have to have 2 pronouns attached. And not only do they have to be verbs with 2 pronouns attached, they have to be a verb with at least 2 syllables with 2 pronouns attached, because a 1-syllable verb would just be an esdrújula, right? So dímelo, tell me it. That's not a sobreesdrújula because it's a 1-syllable verb. It only has 3 syllables total. So it has to have at least 4 syllables to be a sobreesdrújula. All right, so here we go. Cuéntamelo. Guárdamelo. Apréndetelo. Repítemelo. Cómetelo. Recuérdatelo. Bébetelo. Entrégasela. Piénsatelo. If you're thinking, why do all these words look the same at the end? It's because these are going to be commands, right? So you're telling somebody to do something. So tell it to me. Save it for me. Learn it for yourself. Repeat it to me. Eat it. The T is hard to explain there, but remember it, drink it, turn it into him or her, think about it. So these are all commands, and the commands will have the pronouns attached to the end, and that's what makes them need the accent on it. We haven't really studied that. You don't really need to know the structure, but that's when you'll see a word with a sobreesdrújula accent pattern. Okay, so please record yourself saying those words and then submit the recording to Google Classroom. Buen fin de semana. Cuídense. Have a good weekend. Be safe.